What is up, guys? Welcome back to Scene Invaders Podcast, episode 409. And look at this.
You're a champion.
All four of us back in one place. God knew we would be too powerful for the last couple of weeks if all four of us were in one place together. He's allowed it this week. So what is up, guys? Carly, how are you? Welcome back. And just welcome to Scene Invaders. I think it's just safe to say at this point.
Yeah, you're
Carly,
kind of stuck with us.
Official Scene Invaders.
Woohoo! Yes, it's good to be back.
Yes. Good. Mr. Brad from Canada, how are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. I want to thank the new guy that filled in for Coach and I last week, Dan.
Dan something.
Don, is it?
Dean.
Dean.
He's
Phil?
good. He's got a good voice. I hope he does well.
Yeah. He might do something with all that.
I think he should.
Maybe he'll start a YouTube channel.
I hope so. I will subscribe.
Right? And Mr. Coach, how are you, sir?
I am well. How about everybody else?
Wonderful.
All aces.
Great.
What's so funny, the first thing I commented on tonight before we started recording was that it seems that me and Brad and Coach always sort of get the memo somehow through osmosis, whether or not we're wearing hats tonight, and none of us wore a hat tonight. And I was just like, it's just one of those things, man. Like sometimes all three of us show up, we have hats, or none of us do. So it's just, we're keeping things lively here at Scene Invaders, guys.
Well, I got a weird comment at work today. I was sitting there working away wiring, and a new guy behind me. I was listening to my earbuds, so I didn't hear what he really said, but I heard, "How long you been here so well?" And I'm like, "That's English." And I turn around,
That was
I'm
a
like,
choice.
"What?" And he's like, "How long you been here so well?" And I said, "Okay." So I take my earbuds out, and I'm like, "I'm sorry. Say one more time." He's like, "How do you keep your hair so well?" I'm like,
Oh,
I wash it. He's like, "You got thick hair," and I'm like, "Go away." Like,
go away.
How'd you get in here?
yeah, it's like, "Do you work here?" Like, and he's like, "No, I'm worried about mine because I might be going bald." I'm like, "You are, you're not. There's not a mite."
Yeah, right. And there are pills you can take to stop yourself from balding, or
Countries named Erky that rhyme with Erky that you could go to.
You could.
The rhyme with Erky, guys.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not wearing a hat, because I have really good hair. So.
Okay, right. Brad's on his good hair shit, and I'm down for it. I haven't been on my good hair shit really probably ever, but like I started balding when I was just out of high school, guys. So I've been thinning forever, and I just had to accept it. And thank God my head's not a weird shape. I've been very thankful for that my whole life. But yeah, you always look amazing, Mr. Brad.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I have to draw attention before Carly gets started to her shirt, because this is a magical piece of clothing. That, of course, if you've seen The Lost Boys, and who hasn't, everybody needs this shirt, and I'm jealous, and I hope it doesn't go missing, because I might steal it from you, even though it won't fit me.
It'd be a bandana.
Yeah, okay, right, God. Make it into like a little cape or something. But we are going to get started with Carly tonight and see what she watched this week. We're all going to do that as we always do, and then we have some something fun to discuss later in the show. And yeah, Miss Carly, take it away.
All right. I actually did not have a chance to really watch a lot of stuff this week, but the first thing that I did watch was Didi, and that's D-I-D-I. It is a coming-of-age movie about a Taiwanese American boy, and it was pretty good, but it was very hard to get behind the main character. He kept fucking things up, and I'm like, dude, just stop, please. But I get it. It's a coming of age story, so that it wasn't bad. I would say, in regards to newer coming of age movies, I definitely would recommend Snack Shack over Didi.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it did it much better. But I think it's definitely worth checking out. I wouldn't buy it, but I definitely rent it or stream it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it's something that's been on my radar for a while, and then it never played near me for whatever reason. I was the one excluded this time, and I know Mr. Coach saw it. So
Yeah, it kind of. I kind of made the same mistakes that Mr. Didi did during the AOL.
You know all about it then.
The AOL Instant Messenger aspect.
okay.
Yeah, those were dark times.
Yes.
Dark times, man.
Foot in mouth, and now there's great.
Everything when you're that age was dark times, I feel like.
Yeah. I
At
will
least if
say,
you were me, they were.
yeah, and I mean, it looks like the movie takes place in 2008. So that, I mean, obviously, I had already graduated from high school like 6 years prior to that, but it was really fun to see, show AOL Instant Messenger and of course Facebook and MySpace. Oh my God, I miss MySpace so much. But but yeah, so that was cool. I enjoyed seeing that. But then the second thing that I watched was music by John Williams. And that just basically followed the life of the legendary composer John Williams, goes over all of his, I mean, everybody recognizes John Williams. And I was talking to my husband the other night when we were watching it, and I said, you know, I really feel like most, and not maybe not most, but at least half of Star Wars, what made it so well, like so great, is the music. It really
Oh
made
yeah.
it. Without that music, it just would not have been the same. I mean, it
Was
still would have been
instantly
pretty cool.
recognizable.
Exactly, and it just hits you with that first note, just like bam,
Yep.
you know.
Because nobody
So
else was doing that at the time. They had all these poppy and different things, and to go classical was such a like a left turn back then because everybody wanted a different soundtrack.
yes, and it was
What-
really awesome, like listening to, they show you different scenes like without the music, and then they put the music back in and show you just how much it really adds to what's on the screen.
That's cool.
So,
What's everybody's favorite John Williams score? No doubt, no surprise. Mine's the Superman theme.
Same.
You see, I kind of the Jurassic Park
yeah,
is to me like the
that's pretty. Yeah,
yeah, when that hits in there and then you sing along to it, oh, it's a dinosaur. Like there are no lyrics. There are no lyrics, but you
Exactly.
do sing with it, like, oh, it's a dinosaur.
yeah.
No, I gotta listen to that.
Now I will do that every time.
Right.
Yeah, you wrecked it. you wrecked the greatest John
Oh,
Williams
dude,
theme.
it's the sweeping thing. Yeah,
And I
there's-
just love, yeah, I love listening to those. I don't know if you guys have seen the YouTube videos where they will have the scene from Jurassic Park where they first see the dinosaur, but then it'll start playing like somebody's terrible rendition of it. Those are really
Yes.
funny too, like with the
Yes.
recorder.
I love
Oh.
those. Yeah, they're
That's
so
cute.
good. Do you guys ever listen to actual like score music, like just
Oh, yeah.
for pleasure?
I do. Yeah.
I do too.
especially with Trent Reznor and Atticus Finch.
Finch, yeah,
Atticus Ross.
Finch,
Yeah.
Finch? Is it Finch?
Finch. It's
Atticus
Finch.
Ross.
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Oh,
I
Yeah.
thought it was. Oh, we're thinking of
Wow,
the book.
You're
We're
thinking
thinking of
To
the
Kill a
book.
Mockingbird.
Yes,
Kill a
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
yes.
No,
Atticus
Nine
Finch.
Inch
And I'm
Nails
like,
Like, yes,
is
Greg-
go-
Gregory Peck?
exactly.
Like, wow, he does everything.
9 Inch Nails
Wrong
is
thing.
doing a concept album
Okay,
of how
right.
to kill a mockingbird.
Yes.
Now we know who's scoring
That's
that
what
next
Atticus- that's
adaptation.
right.
Like,
Yeah. The drastic
like,
reinventing of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Challengers
Okay,
this year is
listen, we
gonna
need to
score. I've listened
trademark
a
that
ton,
now because I mean
Yes.
this is an original idea.
Yeah. We should trademark it and not having any rights or claim to anything. Yeah, let's see how far.
Well, all you have to do to trademark it, just say trademark. We just did it. It's on YouTube. We trademark
Okay.
it.
All right. There you go. There you go. All the
It might-
lawyers, that's code right there.
That's it, right? Yeah, yeah. He's the guy at the bottom right hand corner.
Oh man.
Yeah, the score I've listened to the most throughout my entire life though has been for Bram Stoker's Dracula from
Ooh.
Francis Ford Coppola. Oh,
Oh,
my
really?
god, when I was busy being a vampire in high school and I slipped into my coffin every night for bed, that's what I wanted to listen to. And yeah, I love it. It's so good. It's instantly recognizable to me too. And I still sometimes lay here late at night and play that shit, and it's great. I still love it.
I do a lot of the
listen to
Nolan
Interview
stuff.
the Vampire occasionally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was also a vampire in high school.
Oh,
Yeah.
we just slipped into our coffin in different countries.
That's right.
I had, now, have you guys heard of the movie Six String Samurai?
I've heard
Yes.
of it.
Okay.
Yes.
I used to listen to that original soundtrack or whatever all the time. I really like that one.
Okay,
but
listen to
I know
that.
that's not John Williams, but I will say, oh my God, my son said the cutest thing the other day. He was talking about, he said something about Ost, like OST.
Oh,
But-
okay.
but instead of instead
I
of
got it,
Just
original
saying
soundtrack,
OSD.
I got it.
he called it OST instead of OST, and it was just
Aw.
the cutest thing. He's
I
like,
love
"Yeah,
it.
the OST. I love that OST. It's the OST." I was like, "Oh God, now I'm gonna
That
have to start
Oz
using that."
rules.
It's
No,
like, oh geez.
let him do it. Let him
Yep.
do
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
But so that was really good. I don't know if I'd buy it, but I definitely recommend watching it or streaming it, renting it if you have access to it. And that was on. Looks like it's on Disney Plus.
Okay. Yeah, I was
So
just about to ask that. I know we had talked about it, but
Yeah.
do I remember what I did 45 minutes ago?
right?
No.
No.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's something I need to watch for sure.
Yeah, me
that
too.
was definitely good. And then the last thing that I watched was A Creature Was Stirring, and that came out in 2023. That is, it says from IMDb, a nurse taking care of her daughter's mysterious affliction struggles to hide her secrets when uninvited strangers take shelter in her house during a
Oh,
lethal blizzard.
that sounds
So,
like it's up my alley for sure.
Hmm.
okay, so I will say that I really liked the lighting. The lighting
Okay.
looked cool. I liked how everything looked.
She has
Listen,
an amazing personality.
and it was
Okay.
very interesting at first. Like I was into it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. What's going on with this? Like, we're
Sure.
slowly learning this stuff, and then just it kind of takes a nosedive, or at least for me and my husband, it did. Both of us were just like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I was like, I don't understand. And it's like, I know I've been paying attention. I haven't missed anything. It's like, okay, well, we'll just keep watching. Surely they have to explain it. So sure enough, the last like 5 minutes, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the last 5 minutes, you are told exactly what's going on. And I got to tell you, I appreciate what they tried to do. It just did not work. It didn't
Mm.
work. But I actually watched this movie thinking it was something else, and then that's the reason why I watched it, because I was like, oh, it's not that movie. I do need to watch this one. So and that movie, but actually before I get to that movie, I will say I just can't recommend A Creature Was Stirring. I mean, you
Okay.
could try to watch it if it's for free,
Carly
maybe
said,
check it
burn
out.
that motherfucker. We don't
Burn
have
it.
time for a
No,
creature with
no.
stirring.
It was so bad though. But it was really sad too, because I really like some of the I like Connor Palo, I think is how you pronounce his name. And
Okay.
he's like an indie actor who's been in Stakeland. That was
Okay.
like kind of an indie vampire flick. And that came
Stakeland.
out, yeah, it was really good. I want to say maybe 2012 it came out,
Okay.
sometime around there, but that's definitely worth checking out. But the movie that I thought A Creature Was Stirring was There's Something in the Barn. And I
Oh,
definitely recommend that. Have you seen it?
okay. I have not, but I want to.
Okay. Okay. And that is
Because that's a
Christmas
Christmas
themed.
themed. Yeah.
Yes, and it
There's
is. And
something in the barn.
yes, it's called There's Something in the Barn. It's basically an American family fulfills their dream of moving back to their roots after inheriting a remote cabin in the mountains of Norway. But there's a surprise waiting for them.
In the barn.
Yes, there's something in the barn.
It's kind of a
Exactly.
it's kind of a family friendly horror, right?
I no, not really.
Oh, okay.
Like,
For some reason I had
it's
in my
rated
mind it was
R.
more like family. Oh, okay.
It
We got
is
I
rated
was thinking
R.
it was like
pork in the
Gremlins,
barn.
kind of.
And I mean, I think we did let my son watch it last year, because we actually watched it last year when it came out. But it's pretty funny. It is Christmas themed. Um, Way better than A Creature Was Stirring. So I absolutely recommend There's Something in the Barn. And it actually has Martin Starr in it. I didn't recognize many of the
Ooh,
other people.
I like Martin Starr.
Yes, but it's very funny. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. So
This begs the question: have you seen Krampus?
yes, I have.
That's very fun. I'm gonna imagine Coach has not
Have you
seen
seen?
Krampus.
Oh, it's worth
The Brad should
watching
be
at
a
least
costume.
once. I
It
think it's
is.
worth watching at least once.
For homicidal gingerbread men, I mean,
Oh yeah,
what more do you need around Christmas? What says the holidays like a murderous little gingerbread man?
right.
Perfect.
At least for me. All
But
right,
yeah,
that was all for you, new Miss Carly.
yes, that was it.
Okay, there's something in the barn. I'm absolutely watching that this
Yes.
year because I need more holiday horror in my life for real. So
Definitely recommend.
I'm into it. All right, Mr. Brad, we're going to move on to you. What could Mr. Brad have possibly watched this week?
Well, since nothing's playing around me, that's a long-running joke, but the joke is on
Welcome
me.
to Scene Invaders podcast, guys.
yeah.
Brad is shunned.
Canada shuns all movies, but don't worry. I think a new one will come out soon, regardless. I don't want a new movie. I want
You'll
like
get Kraven the
independent
Hunter,
fun
I'm
stuff.
sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm all at Kraven the Hunter. My daughter actually wanted to go see it when we were leaving Moana Part 2. She saw, hey, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's Kraven the Hunter. Could we go see that? I'm like, yeah. And then I'm looking at the poster, and you got Kraven with his abs out and everything, and she's just enamored. I'm like, I know why you want to go see that. Me too. So yeah.
Okay.
But so yeah, I'm
with you,
gonna use
girl.
that this weekend with my daughter. That'll be fun.
Nice.
But as far as what I watched, I checked out some TV, and I watched the first 2 episodes of James Gunn's new DC Creature Commandos.
Okay.
It's an animated fare, and it's kind of like a fun story, but it most definitely has James Gunn's fingerprints all over it. Like I said, you got 2 episodes right now, but it features a bunch of misfits put together to complete missions, not unlike any of his other superhero work with Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's the first foray in the new DC universe, or that's what they're bragging about, or that's what Mr. Gunn said. But he's really holding on to anything past that he did with the DC universe, because they mention in the cartoon, they mentioned the Suicide Squad, Corto Maltese, Operation Starfish, and even that what's his name, Rick Flag, that he was killed because it's Rick Flag Sr. that's running this team. I mean, the animation is smooth. You got some fun characters like the Bride of Frankenstein. You have Frankenstein, you have Weasel, Dr. Phosphorus. So, I mean, it is a bunch of like real D-list, D-list guys together. But the animation is smooth. It's not too over the top. But what really gets me is the voice talent.
Okay.
Like, my God, the voices on this are pretty much, looks like it's tailor-made that these guys can make the transition to live action if they need to, because you got Rick Flag Sr. is Frank Grillo.
Oh, okay.
You got Zoe Chow, Alan Tudyk, Cecil David, and David Harbour as Frankenstein.
Daddy, oh my God.
So it's really great. No, it was fun. I'm looking forward to how this unfolds, but yeah, it was fun watching. It's rated R. There's some violence, some pretty over the top stuff, some language. It's very
Are there
much
only 2 episodes currently?
Yeah, right now they
Okay.
dropped 2 episodes. It's on Max.
Okay.
It's in the same vein as like the Peacemaker show.
Okay.
You know, but it's just animated. So yeah, that's a buy for me. I'm going to continue watching.
Okay.
And the other thing I checked out was Black Doves on
Okay.
Netflix. It's starring Keira Knightley, and she is one of my all-time favorites. I don't know. I just always had a thing for her.
King Arthur. That's what did it for me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, me too. I think that's the first. I'm sorry, I thought. Yeah.
I got lost.
Sorry. We're not recording, are we? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Keira Knightley, she plays an undercover spy. Well, I guess all spies are undercover. But
any good ones?
Any good ones, yes. And she's married to a very prominent person in the British government. And so she kind of originally met him to steal secrets. That is her trade. It's the secrets.
Okay.
So ended up kind of falling in love with him. X amount of years later, twins, everything. Well, not everything is too great because she takes on a lover. And spoiler, it's not that bad. Her lover is killed in kind of like a government assassination kind of thing. So she kind of looks into it. Her agency doesn't want to, so her agency sends an old friend to kind of look after her, keep her safe.
Ben
And
Wishaw.
what?
Ben Wishaw. I love
Ben
him.
Wishaw.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He is the absolute best in this. He plays a hitman, a trigger man, as they call him. And I was sitting there watching him, trying to place him, and I knew him. And then I remembered, oh yeah, moron, that's Q from James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had me completely hooked. I mean, there's political intrigue, there's assassination, and a lot of tense stuff, gunplay, knives, really up my alley for all the things you guys know I love.
Yeah, it's pure British spy. Like, it's not James Bond. It's more of the cerebral
spycraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's got the two hit women.
Oh yeah.
Like you saw that episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to there. Yes.
Yeah, they're hilarious. I think
they're almost like not Irish? Swedish, but like that type of stereotype.
Yeah, a little Irish in them or something. Yeah. But they they're fun. They're fun characters. It's 6 episodes. It's on Netflix. It dropped all at once, but I won't binge it. I'll watch one, then I'll go do something else. I dissect it, and I watch one the next day because I want this to last because I'm really, really, really loving this.
Okay.
And I think it's one of the I haven't seen Keira Knightley in anything for a while. She hasn't lost a step, or she has not gained a wrinkle.
Okay.
Like, speaking of vampires, I think she might be a vampire. So yeah.
Now, how long are those episodes, roughly?
About 50 to 55 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, because I may have to try to watch that because we just canceled Netflix and we have it until next week. So
you got to watch it.
Oh, it's Netflix.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to watch it. And other than that, I read a book. I actually sat down and read a book because I had some free time.
Where's our nerd drop? We had it. We don't have
nerd. Only in this day and age, you're getting mocked for not watching enough TV and actually reading.
I'm here for it. I love it.
Literacy, everybody. Yeah,
we're pro literacy.
A friend of mine recommended Neuromancer by William Gibson. It's was published in 1984, and it's a dare I say it, it's a cyberpunk kind of information theft and caper, starring a drug addict who is I don't want to say cybernetically enhanced, but like neurologically enhanced.
Okay.
And this is 1984, and this William Gibson, he's credited with that, and we talked earlier, Blade Runner, kind of credited with inventing cyberpunk. And the stuff that this guy imagined inspired The Matrix, inspired Gattaca, inspired a whole like genre of movies, because he was essentially being a guy that was jacking into the web before the web was even there, like before we know it as what we do it now.
Sure.
And yeah, it was a page turner. Like, that's one thing that I wanted to make last a month, not the 4 days that it took me to read it.
Right.
And
Edge yourself with Neuromancer.
You got it. That's the name of my next podcast.
Edge yourself with Neuromancer.
I mean, I couldn't think of a better way to put it.
Yeah, it's gonna be right under the Feed Invaders page. You guys can click on.
The Feed Invaders clip is still the only clip to be marked as adult on YouTube, just simply for talking about feet. Definitely this Canadian boy, Will Gibson, definitely knows his way around a good story. And there's a bunch of sequels to it and other things that he is inspired and such. So I'm going to read them all. Okay.
So I've got 3 buys. So
should this be adapted into a movie or a show?
I think it kind of has been, with just all of the inspired things. Like
Okay.
Maybe like
this
Johnny Mnemonic.
Johnny
kind of.
Mnemonic was another one that based off William Gibson's short story, and yeah, just huge influence for the Matrix. If you like, it's on Audible if you want to listen to it. But a friend of mine gave me an actual copy, and I'm like, I haven't sat down and read anything in a long time. Wonder if I still know how to do it.
Dead.
No, seriously, because you sit there. I legit read the first page 4 times, and I'm like, why can't I just sit here and read? Like,
Yeah.
I used to read all the time. That
Mhm.
was, like, is this just not stimulating enough for me? Well, I'm going to force myself. So I read that first page, second, then third, and it just, boom, went from there. Fired all my neurons. Imagination went wild, and it was a lot of fun.
And the best feeling is when you do that and then you just get to the point where you just can't stop anymore. It's like it's
Mhm.
bedtime, but I just want one more chapter or whatever it is.
Right.
That's the best feeling. I love it so much. I like to read, man, but I
Yes.
don't do it as much as I should.
Yeah, so that's what I got. Like I said, 3 buys for me. It's a bowl of turkey.
Gotcha. All right. It looks like we are on to me, guys. And I have a couple of things to say. So, as you can see from my name tonight, I'm a Golden Globes respecter. And I know the Golden Globes are not the most important award show of the season, but they're getting there. They're well known, and a lot of people have some respect for the Golden Globes. As you know, if you've been listening to us for a while, I'm obsessed with The Substance. I love it so much, and I have been invested as fuck. Like, I made this motherfucking movie this year. And I was so thrilled to see the Golden Globes nominate The Substance for 5 awards this year.
That's
It's
pretty great.
Yes.
yeah, picture, director, actress, supporting actress, and screenplay. And I hope more than anything that this momentum carries on. And I was just absolutely thrilled to see it. I was listening to this at work, like undercover, because I should not be listening to it. And I was like, yes, let's go. I mean, like, if I could have screamed, I would have screamed. I was thrilled every time I heard The Substance. And yeah, so I had to say that. And Challengers as well, another one of my absolute favorite movies of this year. It's definitely not getting anything at the Oscars unless maybe it's a music thing. But I love this movie, and to see it get 4 nominations here, including picture and actress, it just thrilled me. I was like, this movie deserves recognition, and it was a thrill for me. It's weird things that make me excited, guys.
Also,
No, man.
Memoir of a Snail nominated.
Yes, and I knew that. I had a feeling that would be. I think that will be for Oscar as well. It's just such an achievement, and it's going to be kind of impossible to not recognize the craft on display there, I think, and just the artistry and the story and all of that. Is it going to win? No, I don't think so. There's much bigger contenders up against it, but for a movie like that, a movie like The Substance, which isn't going to win likely, and like if it gets into the Oscar Best Picture, the win for that movie is the nomination, and I think that that's enough. Would I choose it to win? Yes, but I understand how this shit works, and that's not the kind of movie they would allow to win. But nominating it would look very, very cool. Another thing, I know Brad is going to be very proud of this because I watched the first 5 episodes of Ted Lasso season 1.
Oh God, it's so good. I love season 1. Season 1 is just a delight.
Yes,
it is a delight for sure.
Have you cried yet? Like happy tears? Have you cried yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so I think I broke my crying cherry on the 3rd episode of Ted Lasso.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
I think because we did it during COVID.
Oh, okay.
It was the ultimate save us, but I'm so happy that you're enjoying what
Diving
you're
in.
watching so far.
Yeah. So as we know, I'm no longer single. Ooh woo. And I was over at his house last night, and he was like, "You haven't seen Ted Lasso? Either get out, or we're gonna watch it right now." And I was like, "Go ahead and put it on." So we made it through 5 episodes, and after episode 5, I had to come home, work, responsibilities. It's dumb. But I was like, save this because he's already seen it. And I was like, I'm definitely trying to continue this. So I need to move on from here. And I thought of Brad the whole time. I was like, Brad's going to be so proud of you for watching this because I know how much you love it.
I'm very proud of you. Like I said, I envy your new eyes.
Yes.
It's
just so delightful. He's so nice. And he's just so pleasant.
He's so funny. It's very funny too. It's but
it's not like
very
saccharine.
Witty.
It's just he's funny, and like he's someone you would want to like be around and spend time with. He's just pleasant and cool, and yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Watching them at the auction is one of the best.
Yes,
one of the absolute best times is when.
And what's her name? She was in The Fall Guy this year. I can't remember her name, but I love her.
The one who plays Keely?
No, it's Keely.
Keely?
No, the
Rebecca.
blonde lady.
Juno.
Oh,
Temple.
the older one.
Are you
Okay.
thinking Rebecca?
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Rebecca.
No, what was Juno in this year? Sorry, that was my bad.
Venom.
Oh no.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah, no,
Sorry.
Hannah Waddingham. She was also in Game
yes,
of Thrones.
that's it.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
She's
She's
great.
the
I love
shame
her.
lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shame.
Got a great voice for it.
So then my first movie that I watched this week, and this is an older movie, it's from 2014. I went on a show this past Sunday called BS Drunk Podcast, and I'll link this actually for the audio and video versions. Friends that I've met through doing this and Twitter, and friend of the show 8750. Him and his sister do a show every week where they kind of just discuss a movie in depth. And when they bring a guest on, the guest is allowed to choose the movie. So the first time I went on, I chose Body of Evidence starring Madonna, and that's an absolute classic for me. So this, I was like, man, I got to follow up with something really, really good. So my choice this time was Nurse 3D. This is directed by Doug Arniakowski. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Sorry, Doug. I know you're listening to this. And it stars Paz de la Huerta and Katrina Bowden.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
And this is like
3D.
This is like an erotic thriller horror that it's masterful. It's amazing. It is sublime trash. It's perfection. There's every single thing about it. The two that hadn't, well, I think Matt had seen it before, his sister had not. Matt was like, I loved this movie and I love this even more now, and I am thrilled that you brought this back to my attention. And his sister was like, you picked the best fucking movies. And I was like, bitch, yes I do. Well, at least I hope I do. But this is just, it's about a woman who works in nursing and it happens to like to kill married men who are cheating. And Paz de la Huerta in this, back when this came out, I used to have her as my phone wallpaper in her, because the nurses' uniforms in this movie at All Saints Hospital where they work are like fetish nurses. It's like skin tight ass, like short as fuck. Like all their shoes are like patent white, like I don't know what they're called because I'm a guy, but they're like high heels, but like wedges, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense, but they're like high heels that are like filled in, and they just look like bondage slutty nurses, and it's fucking amazing. And every line delivery that Paz de la Huerta gives in this goes, oh, but and oh, my addiction is happening again. And it's like baby talk, sexy, and it's just hilarious. Every time she opens her mouth in this movie, it's absolutely hysterical. And I can't recommend this enough to anyone. I feel like nobody knows about this movie for some reason. And like I said, it is called Nurse 3D.
About it.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Amazon Prime and it's on Tubi, I believe, as well. So it should be very easy to find. And yeah, you're gonna love it. Like I'm pretty positive that if you watch this movie, you're going to love it because it's trash for sure, but it's just the right kind of trash. This movie knows it's trash. It's, I want to say campy. I feel like campy, though, you're not necessarily aware you're campy. This movie's very aware that it is like kind of playing campy trash, but it's kind of violent and fucked up and crazy. It's got like some single white female-y elements to it. And it's just fun, man. It's just fun. And you will laugh for sure. Unless you are humorless, like a humorless dark soul.
Paz is such a strange actress. She's almost like a mix between Jennifer Tilly and like Kari Wurr.
God, Jennifer Tilly's a good
it's just kind of like she would have been on Skinamax if it was the 80s. Like it just those...
And honestly, I think she's hot. Her body fucks. Like, I mean, she looks amazing. And that's why she spends half of the movie. And like her thing in this movie, for whatever the fuck reason, I'm not exactly sure why, is a bra and like nothing else on. And then Katrina Bowden, her thing in the movie is like panties and nothing else on. Like the bitch showers in panties. I was like, who does that?
What?
But honestly, for Nurse 3D, forgiven.
Was it gym class again?
Okay, right. It's so
David
bizarre.
Cross in Arrested Development.
It's just so, it's so good. This is a buy. extended version, extreme copy, the 4K, like buy it and watch it like once a year at least,
The
maybe a
type
couple
of
times a year.
packaging that would come with like a fake syringe in it.
Yes. Oh my
Like-
god. The deluxe edition, whatever that is. And this, like I said, this movie is Nurse 3D, and of course I haven't seen it that way. But you can see, especially as it gets toward the end of the movie, where they are just literally throwing
Popping it,
everything
yeah.
at the screen to like get that 3D going on. And would I live for that experience? That is like the ultimate midnight movie experience, is to find some art house theater or some small theater that's like showing the 3D version.
That'd be fun.
And if it was like a full audience, they would just howl the whole entire time. It's that kind of fun. It's just fun. FUN. And yeah, recommended as fuck. It's even fun if you're by yourself, promise, because I watched it by myself. Oh no, that's not true. I watched it with Chris, and he was like, "What the fuck are we watching?" And then he was like, "Ah!" I was like, "Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
You're welcome for knowing about Nurse 3D."
Love it.
And then Coach and I have some crossover. We've cross streams
We have cross streams.
for our next film.
We are not sword fighting, but we have cross streams.
Okay, right. Nothing's moved, but
Nothing has moved, but we have crossed paths.
These are awful.
the next film that we are talking about is Flow. It's a Latvian animated film that
Oh, one of those.
has no dialogue. It's all about animals. It has a very like Noah's Ark-ish thing to it. And it's just about the world that these animals live in, mysteriously flooding, and then unlikely animal companions banding together to survive. And again, without dialogue or anything. So it's not like a Disney version of this. I think they try for the most part to try to play these animals as they would be in real life, and the personalities these animals have. Of course, they're taking some liberties here a little bit. It is animated. They do have to keep things moving. They have to keep it entertaining. And for me, they did. I thought this movie was riveting. It is beautiful to look at from start to finish. And it's just, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I found it absolutely compelling. So essentially, like, a cat is the star of this movie. And it meets like a lemur and a capybara and a dog, and they all in a bird. I don't know what kind of bird that was, but I love that bird. Yeah, some big giant bird.
Yeah.
But they basically find a boat that they can all escape onto together and live as they float through this now flooded world, peril after peril, trying to just figure out how to survive. And this isn't spoiling anything, guys. Like, there's not really a whole lot of spoilers here. It's not about a plot necessarily. It's just more about this lovely story of companionship and friendship and unexpected friendships and all of that. And it's really wonderful. This is something anybody, the whole entire family, could watch and I think very much enjoy. The kids might have a slightly tougher time with this one because like I said, there is no dialogue. It is surprisingly quite funny, I thought, but it might be a tougher sit for an 8, 9, 10-year-old maybe, just because of the lack of slapstick and dialogue. But adults for sure, I think, and unless you have a block with animation, I think would love this movie.
Yeah, it's a meditation type of movie where you just kind of like lose your consciousness in the movie. It is about a simple story of basically you can't do it on your own. So the different characters, like the cat is constantly trying to survive on its own and has to basically use the aid and the help of these other characters to basically survive. And there's a realization moment that comes along with it. It reminds me of a lot of almost like a Mitsuzaki film without any dialogue.
Yep.
I'm going to date myself, but there used to be these things called shopping malls. And in these shopping malls, there used to be record stores. And in these record stores, they would play these weird animations. And that's almost what this was, is just kind of like, it is almost like a trippy, pseudo-realistic acid trip of the water going.
Some of it, like just I watched the trailers, and it has a bit of like watercolor, like some almost like rotoscope movements. I was
informed too, and I don't remember what it's called, but there was a program that I guess is open source that this was created in.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember the name of it for the life of me, but there are times where this almost looks photorealistic, I think, and then other times where it's clearly not that. More, I think, with the characters and the build of like the animals themselves and stuff. But there's some like water sequences and stuff that almost look like better than like
water is amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
To me, it's definitely a buy. It's something that you almost leave on in the background that you can kind of pop in and out of. It's almost like screensaver in the movie, but at the same time, it's like you can just feel your body relaxing while you're watching this movie just take over your consciousness.
I always thought I kept thinking through the whole thing, even though I enjoyed watching it and would definitely watch it again and will watch it again. This would be the perfect kind of movie to throw on like at a party just to have on the TV while music played and shit, just as a visual accompaniment, because there's always something interesting happening, always something cool to look at. And yeah, it's just it's so pleasant. And I'm a crier. I did tear up a couple times. I didn't full blown have a meltdown in the theater, but I definitely teared up because it plays with your emotions a bit.
Yeah, the one mammal, it made me just lose it. But
yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful movie. It competes for me, I think, like right there with like Memoir of a Snail and The Wild Robot as like the best animated film of the year. Like they're really right there, all kind of neck and neck for me. They're all very, very different, but
as I examine how I felt on both movies, is I felt like The Wild Robot was almost tricking me into the feelings that I was having. Yeah, it feels
it's a little manipulative.
Yeah, whereas
not in a bad way.
No, I loved it. It's so wonderful.
No, yeah, it's not in a bad way, but this is more slipping into a warm bath type of thing.
Yeah, there's a comfort level to this for sure. And I mean, this is a big one that you're seeing too, again, with like awards and shit. Got a Golden Globe. It's definitely getting an Oscar nomination in animated. It's not going to win because it's up against shit like Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, and that kind of stuff. But for a film like this, very much, I guess, like The Substance, the nomination is the win here. And it puts that name out there for more people. Like I said, it's from Latvia. So not exactly like a big, giant $1 billion Disney movie coming out. So any eyes that get on this, I hope I can divert some eyes that way. And it's just, wonderful.
Well, it's got a cat, so.
And that cat is cute as fuck. All the animals are cute as hell. I've always wanted to pet a capybara. They're so cute.
I love dogs. The video game Stray that came out this year.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I know of it.
My daughter played the hell out of that.
Yeah, like if
fun.
she enjoyed that, she's gonna like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's never going to show here, so I'm not going to tease you with it.
It'll come to streaming soon enough, I'm sure.
Eventually, it'll show up on CTV.
Let me ask you this, Brad, because like here in the States, I feel like even kind of like lesser theaters or theaters that normally wouldn't get this stuff, I feel like as award season ramps up, like theaters start to show all the awards content.
I was thinking about that, honestly, because there are some movies that don't normally play here. Like it's a lot of the blockbusters or a lot of foreign films and such. I don't mind foreign films, but
sure,
they have to be good too. So yeah, I've seen some theaters throw up a few little things. So I am hopeful for, like when you said, like award season and all these things that are leaks. So I think Substance, I want that to get a lot of traction because I want it to get into more theaters or be a stronger showing, just like with all the others.
And this is something I think that's absolutely worthy, more than worthy of seeing on the big screen. It's very grand. It's very big in scope. It's intimate, but there's just the visual component of it is just so grand and big. And you go to so many different places and there's so many different visual elements. And it just it's fascinating, like to see this flooded world. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, there's some things that like Fantasia 2000 did some similar things. Like overall, Fantasia 2000 is not as good as Fantasia, but there are some similar things in that to this that type of artwork and stuff that is impressive, along with the music.
Very cool.
And yeah, I know last week that I said that Brad had a couple little blurbs that he wanted me to read about movies, and one of those movies was Wicked, and he said she's green and also a fucking goat teaches history. But we haven't heard what Coach has to say about Wicked, and I'm actually very curious about this. I have an idea here, but I have not got to hear him discuss Wicked. So I'm curious, sir. What were your thoughts
So
on that?
something is concerning me about Wicked, and it is the rumblings of this is the best picture of the year.
No,
This
it's
is the
not,
best
but
picture
it's
of the
good.
year. And I'm worried that the populism of it will overtake what I feel are some real good art house films this year. But that being said, I was 100% wrong on Ariana Grande. She was awesome in it.
She
Yeah,
really
hell yeah.
was.
I was, the other female lead, Cynthia, is it
Cynthia
Erivo?
Erivo? Yeah.
Just knocked it out of the park. I mean,
Powerful.
just yes, that's exactly how she had power.
Yeah.
I love the little cameo of the original two.
Hell yeah.
England. But to me, the biggest difference between this and the Broadway show is Fierio, Jonathan Bailey. Fiero. So Jonathan Bailey's passing through life. When you listen to the actual musical ones, it's very music box style. It's very fairy in a fairyland. It's that type of thing. When you see this in the movie, it is, you're not just locking up your daughters, you're locking up your sons, your daughters, your pets, your anything.
Yes.
Like this guy parties.
Oh yeah.
And he just oozes charisma throughout the number, and having that sort of almost sexuality run amok in this story really amplifies it. I do say that the director nails all the music cues and all of the songs, but he loses control in between.
Okay.
Okay.
Whereas, like, anytime that there is a song going, choreography is on, visuals on, everything.
There's like
going
75 bitches on screen.
Yes.
I'm just like, how is all this happening right now?
Hitting each other.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
everything is hitting. And then when they stop singing, he loses control of the story. And that's where, like, I'm impressed by the work, but that's where I'm like, this is not a best picture thing.
Yeah.
Like,
it'll be
it's
nominated,
like,
but it's not worthy of the win.
In my world, yeah. I mean, like, and even as a director, like, I think he does some great work, but I'd hate to see him get this rather than like a Dave Villeneuve or something like that.
Yeah.
I actually liked In the Heights more as a overall film than Wicked.
I liked In the Heights too,
because there was like a consistency to it.
Yeah,
where everything was kind of off and on.
There's something you said to me that really stuck with me after seeing Wicked, and you were just like, the amount of spinning plates in this movie, and it really made a lot of sense, because there are a lot of plates spinning at a lot of moments in this movie, and you could really have like taken this down a really bad path.
Oh, it could have gone real ugly real quick.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I watched the behind the scenes of the Dancing Through Life, and they're like, yeah, we have 4 shots to take this, and the dancer can only do it 4 times. Otherwise, he'll get hurt.
And they're like spinning through bookcases and like writing these like bookcases really that are like spinning. And I'm just like, my God, what in the fuck is happening? Like,
I know everybody.
And again,
likes
I'm not
that,
super versed in musicals, but good
well,
Lord.
likes that Defying Gravity song. But for me, Dancing Through Life was the one that that really hooked me.
That and Loathing, I thought really hit me better than when I originally saw the musical. Those were the big 2 for me, the Dancing Through Life and Loathing. I've never been a popular fan, but I understand the need for it. But
that's the song. I'd never heard any of this before, and that's Popular is the song that stuck in my head after I left the theater. Good Lord.
I also saw Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo. I just, listen, the first one is so good because he's a wronged man, and they took his wife, and they took his kid, and they took everything from him, and now he has to fight them all. And the second one is just politics.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Well, he was the son of, it's rightfully his politics. Maybe that guy has syphilis, and we were done. Like, that's about all I got out of it.
And I'm going to say something crazy here. I think Paul Mescal was kind of strangely miscast here. I think he's very good, but he didn't feel right here for me. I think he's great, but this just,
honestly, if you reverse him and Pascal, I think it's better.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
If I'm gonna see sharks, I'd like to see them with freaking laser beams.
I
Yeah,
was
right.
wondering. I'm all for like bread and circus and all that, but where'd you get the sharks?
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
His
Only
imagination.
Ridley
Yeah.
Scott. Yeah, exactly. And Ridley
Where'd you-
Scott
He's
is known
old.
to not give a fuck
He's old.
about.
Listen, but
Right.
okay. Where'd you keep the sharks while you were flooding a coliseum, which could not possibly?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that part is
But
actually
so they
accurate.
did flood it. They actually had
Yeah.
Yes.
naval battles.
Yes, but
Mhm.
probably no sharks.
But
Yeah.
Denzel was great, but again, it's just
Can you?
I heard he was
not-
Denzel.
Can you seriously be a better actor and not give a fuck?
Than
Oh,
Denzel.
I waited for the King Kong ain't got nothing
Right?
on me.
Yeah,
Like, got
he
shit
showed up.
on me.
Completely Denzel Washington. You reminded me of freaking
Training Day.
Sean
Claudius
Connery.
ain't got nothing on me. Like just
Right.
Reminded me of Sean Connery in Highlander.
yes.
When you're playing a Spaniard with a very bad Scottish accent.
Yeah. Where are you
Yeah,
from? I'm
Tell
from
me of the
Spain.
tale of Scotland, you French
Totally
fuck.
Spanish.
He's like, fuck you, I'm Sean Connery. You're like I'm in the
Right.
same
I do what I
Yeah,
want. And I mean,
my cigar and my check.
I know the movie's making money, and I don't think some people love it, I guess. Dan said his father-in-law said it was his best movie of the year that he's seen. But for me, I didn't hate it, but it just was so
It's fun to
mid
watch.
that
But I mean, there's nothing to it.
I don't care to see it again. I would watch
Mm-hmm.
it again, but I don't care to like actively seek it out and watch it again.
No, I just
Yeah. It's a bar.
I saw the first couple episodes of Skeleton Crew, loved it.
Yeah, me too.
It reminds me of in my youth, there was this thing called The Adventures of Andor, the Ewok Adventures of Andor.
Yep.
It showed up on ABC on random Sundays.
Yes.
Okay.
It was 2 made-for-TV movies, and this completely gives off the vibe. I love the fact that there is an idea that the main character will grow up to be Captain EO. If anybody has gone to the old Epcot adventure back in the day.
Really?
Okay.
If you look at Captain EO and look what he's wearing, and
Okay.
so it's interesting. But it's a kid's adventure movie. It's Goonies and Star Wars together. It's
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that comparison a lot,
Heard.
and I enjoy it.
yeah.
Are you watching it, Carly?
No, I've not watched it. I don't have Disney Plus.
Wait, you said last week that Obi-Wan was where you stopped, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Good stopping.
it's a great stopping point. Although Andor to me is awesome.
I heard that was good.
Yeah, the more you kind of get away from the Skywalker saga or anybody related to a Skywalker, the better.
Yeah.
To me, the best new stuff has been Rogue One, Andor, that type of stuff. So,
What do you think of Solo?
I want to see the original cut.
Yeah, me
I
too.
thought he was good. Donald Glover stole the show.
No,
that
movie got a lot of hate just
I
for
liked
people wanting to hate things. But I thought it was really great. The effects are fun.
I didn't like the Mother of Dragons. I don't
Fine.
like
Yeah. No, I can't take her seriously.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
really
seeing
hard. I like her
Chewbacca-
though.
Yep.
I like seeing Chewbacca actually do something.
Yes.
I mean,
Agreed.
you have a giant space bear.
Oh,
Let him kill stuff.
Yes.
Not you.
I just heard giant
He had
space
just,
bear.
yeah, he had a bear. He had a
Speaking
bear.
of giant animals, my buddy hit me up and we went to my little independent theater to see a crowd-pleasing event that was Batman Returns on the big
Oh.
screen.
Ooh,
Oh,
Christmas movie.
And he brought his 8-year-old daughter to experience it on the big screen and all that. And I forgot what a horny film that was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Meow.
Ooh, like the penguin
like
is
licking herself. And,
well, the penguin's
great.
trying to bang everything in that movie.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Can you blame him?
well, it's just funny because it's like it's one thing if you're going with your buddy, but like there's an 8-year-old girl in there.
Okay,
like,
right,
2
true.
seats away from me, and I'm like, oh man, Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It adds
He
an
talked
awkward
about putting
element
his
to things.
slippers somewhere. Oh,
Okay.
It's just, it's good. Michelle Pfeiffer's awesome in it.
Best thing about that movie.
But
She's amazing.
Mhm.
It's just weird how we age and how the things that don't age.
Yeah.
Fair
Age,
enough.
Or how the
age.
things you didn't quite catch at that time necessarily. You like as you get older, you're like, oh shit, okay.
Oh.
Maybe I shouldn't have been watching that.
My absolute favorite part about that movie, I laugh so hard every time because big Batman fan, he's the Dark Knight, the super ninja. He can beat up Superman. He can do all these wonderful things. He's a mere mortal, but can do anything. But to watch him when Catwoman's cracking the whip and all that, watch him stumble and fall like he's tripped on like a roller skate or something, wipe out. I thought that is the stupidest. Like, there's your hero guy. He just slipped on a freaking banana peel for God's sakes.
Right.
You're watching Christopher Walken just be Christopher Walken the whole entire time.
Oh, but what about his son?
His son,
no, Dad.
Oh my gosh, Walken on steroids was hilarious. Like he's like, no, Dad,
no, Dad, don't do it.
Take me, and it's just like, oh god, like it's like a bad Italian accent, but then thrown into just stupid. I didn't even look up who played that part.
That's not the same guy that's in what's it called? Is it oh god, what is it? Fury Road? That's not the same guy, is it?
I can't believe it. It is.
Like one of the sons? I don't know. For some reason, I'm getting that face in my head. I could be totally wrong.
What,
It's been forever.
He had the perfect
one of the guys.
It was. I think the character name was Chip too, which that gave. Yes, he was definitely a Chip. So it is Andrew Benarski, who was in Street Fighter as Zangief, Hudson Hawk as Butterfinger.
Okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes, I was gonna say he was fucking Leatherface.
Any Given Sunday. I mean, like,
okay,
yeah,
he plays
different
Big
actor
Meathead.
Though.
Oh man, it's
for some reason I thought that was the same guy. I don't know why. I must be thinking of somebody else.
Oh, you thinking the bald guy, Nathan Jones?
No, it was the guy. Oh shit, it's the guy who says I would have had a brother. Or whatever, and he was a brother.
Oh, yeah,
that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the same actor. For some reason, it just popped in my head. I don't know.
So here's where I would know him best from. There is an old football movie called The Program.
Oh yeah,
with Halle Berry. No wait, yeah, Halle Berry, James Caan.
Yeah,
she was the girlfriend.
Joe
Kane. Omar Epps, Christy Swanson.
Oh hell yeah!
I love that freaking movie.
This was like the big guy that painted his face, the linebacker, Latimer that took steroids.
Latimer. Yep. Oh yeah. Watch the program, everyone. That's a good one. That's a buy.
That is.
I haven't seen it, but I love an inspirational sports drama on God, and I don't even give a fuck about sports.
This is not.
Okay, this isn't that. Okay, there it is.
This is sadness in college, but there's a little bit of fun, but there's not really.
Yeah, the coach's daughter starts taking tests for the backup quarterback. And,
oh shit. Okay.
There's some.
Bobby Collins.
Moving
Collins
on.
loves anything in a skirt. Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah, I saw Juror Number 2, Clint Eastwood's latest. Don't know why I didn't go to the theaters.
Right.
Warner Brothers could be the stupidest company possible.
It's Clint Eastwood. It's probably his last fucking movie.
I was about to say, so is he actually in the movie?
Movies ago.
He
directed it.
Okay. Because, sorry, go ahead.
No, but this is Nicholas Hoult, Toni Collette, J.K. Simmons, Kiefer Sutherland, Zoe Deutsch. I mean, like, it's a who's who. This is basically 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
Ooh,
with a little bit of a twist. So, like, it's kind of like Eastwood meets Shyamalan, but no ghosts.
Okay, right.
It's in reality.
No gratuitous highlighting your daughter's singing skills.
No bizarre dialogue.
We're gonna go back. We're gonna reverse it, and we're just gonna say it's Clint Eastwood's version of 12 Angry Men.
Okay, there it is.
All right, yes, we'll go with that.
And I'm not going to spoil anything. I love the ending to this. It reminds me of 80s old school endings that really like fermented my love of movies, because it's the only way to actually end things on the right path. It's just something that I'll wait a couple of weeks to kind of, maybe I'll come back and explain exactly what it is. But if anybody
I need to
wants
watch
see
it.
Yeah, I'll
it
check
is
it out.
fun. And then I watched another Nicholas Hoult movie.
Okay.
It's called The Order. And this is Nicholas Hoult and Jude Law. Jude Law plays an FBI agent who is trying to corner Nicholas Hoult, who is, this is based on a true story. He is a alt-right white power supremacist, and they are robbing banks in the Pacific Northwest so that they can raise money to basically start a race war around the entire United States.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Oh no, like this was like real deal stuff. But this was kind of like the turning point of the FBI for the history of the United States. The FBI had basically been going against leftists, like communists and hippies, and like Martin Luther King and all that. And then this was kind of one of the first things that they ran into with the alt-white supremacy thing, was in the early 80s. And then this kind of led to the current FBI.
Okay.
So it's based on true stories, but it's sometimes you're watching, you're just like, man, this is based on a true story, and you just keep fucking things up big time.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads to just different parts of it. And Nicholas Hoult is almost kind of grooming this cult as they rob banks and collect money, and then kind of propagate this stuff all across the country. It's shot gorgeous into like old school 80s, like beginning of 80s, late 70s, all the way, like all the cars, like they looked like you can almost see that grain in the film.
Oh, cool.
I love that.
Real gorgeous. However, I wonder if the nature of, let's see the best way to put this, the nature of the way politics and the country and the view of everything now would allow this movie the same viewership as, like, there's been a definite turn in point, but like the way you see the FBI in Mississippi Burning, in Donnie Brasco, in Silence of the Lambs, I think there's a different view of it now. And I don't know. I don't know if that view will allow a proper watching of this movie.
Sure.
Okay.
I think people are just exhausted.
Outside influence is going to skew your view.
Yeah. And I think that's the tough thing. Like, I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, I can kind of see, this and that, where like I'll still watch Silence of the Lambs and I don't see any political in that.
Yeah. Right. It doesn't have to be in everything, man.
Right. Well, but even in Mississippi Burning, it's very political, but it's not. I'm curious how the modern viewer is going to see this versus the way they've seen former FBI stuff.
It's been some. It's, as I was looking through the AMC app, it's something that is playing this weekend. So I've been like trying to figure out what I'm going to go see this weekend, and that's been one that's definitely like in contention for me.
It's a gorgeous film. It's very well acted. I mean,
I love Nicholas Hoult, man. Ever since The Menu,
Nicole.
I love him.
It does. This is a time capsule type movie that you can really kind of travel. And I guess that was Hear Me Out. So everything that I saw except for Flow was a buy, The Order a borrow, Juror 2 a borrow, Gladiator 2, Electric Boogaloo is a borrow-ish. Wicked is borrow, but don't vote for Best Picture.
Okay, right.
Skeleton Crew, you don't need to buy the box set, but if you pay for a month and then watch it, it's good.
Stream it. There it is. I've been informed that I'm going to the Wicked sing-along that I think is in theaters right around Christmas or whatever. So I've seen it twice already, so I'll be seeing it again with the sing-along version. And honestly, I'm not mad at it. For me, it was a buy. I really like it. I would watch it.
Casting is was it Bach or the little redhead fluffy haired guy?
Oh, like him. Yeah, Bach.
So
he's great.
He got his chops playing SpongeBob in SpongeBob
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Musical on Broadway.
Really?
If you ever want to see an acid trip of anything,
Okay.
with the guy who plays Squidward dancing, incredible. This
Okay.
guy singing as SpongeBob, hysterical.
My God.
Chris,
That's
make a note
awesome.
of this if you're watching.
Did you guys also hear that Ariana Grande is dating him now?
Yeah, they were dating like at
Yeah.
least through that movie or whatever. Yeah, they had like a love thing.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Oh, that's hilarious.
She's awfully skinny, but
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, I will say that
She
she
looks-
is. Yeah, it's concerning.
Looks
Yes.
a
It
little ill.
is for sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys know, we have a group chat where we all chat and discuss what we're going to discuss for the week and all that kind of stuff. And not that long ago, even though some things got in the way in the weeks in between, someone on our panel, maybe Mr. Brad from Canada, brought up a really interesting idea that we all have kind of clung on to. And we've been waiting to discuss this for a while. So, Brad, let us know. What are we about to discuss, sir?
Well, I got this idea as I was sitting around watching trailers for a movie. As you show up on time, you're really happy, and then you have 15 minutes of trailers to watch. And every trailer that came was, well, the two most egregious ones was Mufasa, which looks kind of cool. But the other one
does.
that got me really thinking was they're doing a live action How to Train Your Dragon.
I thought it looked really good. I haven't seen the other one, but
It
I was like, oh, I could cry to that for 2 hours.
it does look good. And I like saying live action when there's going to be so much animated dinosaurs
Right.
and
Right.
dragons flopping around everywhere. So is it really,
It's
really
live action.
action? Yeah. I mean, Gerard Butler looks great, and I think it does look kind of cool. And I thought, man, they are just Little Mermaid, the Beast, everything. They're taking any kind of animated film and taking another bite of the apple with it by making it live action. So I thought, there's enough live action things. You can come up with original ideas, or how about you take an established live action and make it animated? Give a studio that bite at the apple. Like, I'm not saying use the complete soundtrack, voiceover, add your own little flair, get different actors and play it. But is there any live action things you guys would want to see animated? I thought of a couple, and so I'm just going to name the property and the studio that I would like it in the style. Now, I don't know why there is, with this particular property, it's been everything but animated, except for a shitty cartoon back in the, I think, early 90s. So I want to see James Bond Casino Royale.
Oh, I love
Okay.
that movie so much. Well, I like the Daniel Craig one.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite movies, and I would like to see it in the style of Toho Studios, and they did the anime Akira.
Mhm.
And I just think that the attention to detail would really resonate with James Bond, with the way the clothes move on the characters, them just sitting around playing cards. I think they'd be able to do some pretty neat inflections with playing cards, and the violence, naturally, the cars, everything. I just think that kind of the moody James Bondness of it really fits in with that studio. That's one property at least. What do you guys got?
What about you, Mr. Coach?
I would go. My first of, I think, three that I had is I would do Minority Report in rotoscoping.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh,
That'd be
yeah.
good.
So, like, basically rotoscoping is it's almost like animation over the picture, so it's almost
Sure.
like that real life feel. So, like, you do get a little bit of like the Ghost in the Shell type feel. So it's you want to
Think of
give
the Lord of the
like
Rings
a Scanner
animated.
Darkly, that kind of thing.
yeah, like a Scanner
Okay.
Darkly, that type of thing. I'd like to see like Minority Report in there to even stress how even more absurd the Minority Report story is.
Yeah.
So, like, you take the sci-fi element, and even though it is becoming more and more reality-based as we grow up, make it more fanciful by rotoscoping it.
That's
Yeah.
smart, man. That's a
I-
good choice.
I think that would actually give it that movie, which is I always liked it,
I love
but
it.
I
Yeah.
think it would give it more credibility in that animated form.
Mhm.
Because for me, when I think of animation, I'm very forgiving for things that happen
Yes.
that I wouldn't forgive in a live action film.
Right.
You just inspired one for me too, Mr. Coach, just so you know. So I was gonna go with one because it's such a grand idea, but now it's two. How about you, Miss Carly?
Oh goodness. I had a couple. I didn't actually have a chance to think about, what style of animation I'd like to see it in.
Okay.
But I would love to see a continuation of Firefly, whether it be a show or a movie,
Oh.
especially since all of the actors that, the characters are still alive. It's just they're too old to play them in live action. So I'd love to see that. Dread, please bring
Yes.
back Carl
yeah.
Urban,
Mhm.
please.
That's a
I would
good
love to
one.
see that. There's so many good stories that they could use. They could either make that into a movie or a TV show. I'd love to see that. Also, oh God, what was another one? Harry Potter would be good as a cartoon. I
Yes,
think
it would.
things that use like fantasy or magic really lend itself well to animation.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so definitely, I would love to see a Conan the Barbarian, like based off of the
Yes,
Robert E. Howard.
please.
Yes, those
Yeah.
would be really
Oh, that'd be
good.
so good. Why don't
So
they
those
do
are
that?
just some of my picks.
Okay.
Love
Yeah,
it.
mine are very adult, and the one that just came to mind when Coach was talking was the movie Strange Days from Catherine Bigelow.
Oh yeah.
Such a great movie, and rotoscoping would be the smartest choice for something like that. Like it's just it's dark, it's twisted, it's crazy as hell. And if nobody has seen that in a while or haven't seen it, my God, watch Strange Days for real. I just watched it within the last couple of years for a friend's show on YouTube, and God, that movie blew me away. I was like, it's so like timely now, even. I think it came out in
Yes.
the late 90s, and it's just still so very timely, and all of its themes and all of that. Such a great movie. And I have one more, but I'm saving it. So we're going to go around one more time. What about you, Mr. Brown?
Well, this one's not really I don't know if it lends well to as far as like the action and all that I do think of when I think of animation, because that's what hooked me. But I would love to see the Banshees of Inisherin
Interesting. Okay.
in the style of the Studio Ghibli. They did
Okay.
The Boy and the Heron, Princess Mononoke, Ponyo. Very just deep, very rich anime. The hell are you laughing at, Coach?
I love it. I think it's amazing.
I'm just thinking the most gigantic eyes ever. Is, well, there goes that dream. It's just these giant
No, that'd
eyes
be
are
good.
just welling up.
I think it just fits in because the background of the Banshees of Inisherin is a character in itself.
Yes.
And I would love to see what that director would do with the foreground, the background, and the ridiculousness of cutting the fingers off, and like the dimness of the Colin Farrell's character.
I picture
what you
the
mean I'm
lady
dim?
from Howl's Moving Castle just say "feckin."
Feckin'.
Yeah,
Feckin.
Second.
No, that was one of my big Oscar picks.
That's a good choice, man.
For last year, and that didn't get shit either. So, give me an animated one and win something.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Coach?
So I want it in the style of the 70s Fritz the Cat, or like or even like the opening heavy metal style.
Yes.
Like not the
I watched that the other day.
Yeah, not the big booby one, the Taxi Driver episode. Yeah, good. Yeah. I want that style for and this is kind of I want almost like a series. And it would be Dirty Harry and Death Wish.
Oh, yes.
And kind of like those 70s, just grimy, just vigilante,
cool.
Giant gun cannon of a gun type of thing.
Yeah.
And just that. I want pure exploitative, just heads exploding and stuff like that.
When you said the cab driver episode and those two And that just
Yeah.
blends perfectly. Oh, well done.
Yeah, very good. Miss Carly, do you have any others that you wanted to mention?
Not that I can think of right now,
Okay.
but I mean,
Gotcha.
like I said, just basically, I think anything fantasy based really lends itself well to being animated, or like Firefly. If the actors are older, they can't really do, they can't really do the live
Which
action.
they are.
Yes, I would be way more inclined and really enjoy something like that if they were able to do some voice work.
Yeah, Nathan Fillion is definitely hound dogging it these days.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So
He's
for
gonna-
me, oh no, go ahead.
He's going to be in whatever James Gunn.
Yeah.
makes.
Yeah, right.
he's got
Always
a free
a cameo.
pass. Yep,
Exactly.
which is fun.
So the last time I discussed this film franchise, I was overserved. So I want to talk about Scream for just a second. And I think Scream,
Ooh.
distributed from either Neon or A24. I don't know if Neon dabbles in television or not, but I would love to see a slightly elevated animated version. Animated in the style, I have no idea what the fuck it's called, of like the most recent Ninja Turtles movie. I like
Okay.
the sort of like
Oh,
style of it. I like
Like
the sort of gritty.
the graffiti, like
Yeah, it's like a pop punk thing.
Yeah, it was so great. I love that movie. But I would love to see an almost like adult version of Scooby-Doo based off
Okay.
of Scream, where it's like each episode there's like a whodunity element and unmasking of the killer, like that kind of thing. But again, done in like an elevated, very adult, definitely
there's,
not
like,
for
legit
kids
murder.
style. Yeah, there's like real murder graphically. And just a very, very like engaging and interesting mystery element to it. And again, like I said, Scooby-Doo. That's the best thing I could think of. But adult Scooby-Doo, but Scream. I think that would be so lit. I would absolutely watch the fuck out of that. And if it was handled properly, I think that could be super well done. Because I've never seen the Scream TV show.
I haven't either.
I've heard good things about it, and I love Scream, guys. I think it's one of the most important like slasher franchises of the last few decades for sure. Maybe of all time. I know that's a big statement, but it's just a huge horror franchise and it revitalized horror in a really major way. And to see it kind of brought to life in this very different way that would still sort of fit within that universe and fit the style of the movies, I think would be very fun and so fucking dope. I would live for it.
Now, have you guys seen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish?
It's incredible. It was my top 10 of that year.
Whatever type of animation they used for that, I really liked it. It was really cool. I don't know what
beautiful.
it was, but I loved it.
I went into that movie with no expectations.
I know. I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, this movie's going to suck. And like, I was like, oh my God, this movie is
I
fucking
don't even
excellent.
know if I don't even know if I've heard of it. What is it?
Oh my God.
yeah.
It's
from
good.
Shrek. It's like
I know
the Shrek.
okay, so it is. It's in like Antonio Banderas and such.
Yes,
Yeah, but
it's so
completely
good.
different. It's more into the Spider-Verse than it is Shrek.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
what's it
so
called? Puss
great.
in Boots. What?
The Last
Wish. It's
Okay.
so good. Yes,
I
it has
can't
such a
believe
good message, and oh my gosh,
Mhm.
the guy who plays the Piero or whatever, the dog. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. It's just
That
so
dog.
sweet. I
Yeah,
know he's
it's
so sweet.
I'll check
Can't
it out.
so
recommend
good.
that shit enough for real.
Yes.
Like, you'll love it, definitely.
Both my kids loved it too. We were like,
Mhm.
oh my God, this is great.
That's
I
a
love
true-
kids movies. Yes, the adults can enjoy as well.
That's a true
Absolutely.
for the family. Yeah, I wouldn't see it by myself in the theater like I always do. And yeah, I walked out like, man, I can't believe I feel this way about that movie.
Right?
That was amazing.
So good.
Mr. Brad, anything else from you, sir?
Well, I thought of one just for fun, just for silliness. I would love to see The Godfather in the time period and style of the Flintstones.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here for it, dude. I love it.
I
be
don't know
interesting.
why it just I think that time period and that animation style
Very like 2D, like
very 2D, but the Flintstones, if anything, was very dialogue heavy, as is The Godfather. It's not too gratuitous or anything, but it would be fun to see Sonny getting hit by slingshots,
yeah,
just
right.
a million slingshots and just something. Yeah, I don't know. That was just that was the
That's a good
throwaway
one,
fun
man.
one.
I almost said Hereditary, which so
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Okay, right. I thought about it for a minute, but I was like, maybe that's too dark for animation, just period. So.
I've seen some very, very, very dark animation.
True.
They do it well. like Vampire Hunter D and various things.
Oh yeah.
It's always Eastern, which is just fantastic. But
Right.
sounds like what's Flow? What's the origin of that one?
Latvian?
Latvian.
Latvian. Yeah. There's good animation everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Have you guys seen Mars Express?
No.
No.
Oh,
I
that's
have it
really
on.
good.
Yeah, actually, I have it on my Plex, and
Of
like, I
course you
have
do.
it on my watch list.
It's really
Of course
good.
you do, Dave.
I would definitely recommend it, especially if you like Blade Runner or any kind of dystopian type
Oh.
future thing. It's really good. It's
Okay.
very good.
I'll
What
check
about you,
that out.
Mr. Coach? Did you have
So-
any other ones?
Carly just name checked the one that I was going to go, which is
Oh, really?
Yes, let's go.
is Blade Runner, and I don't know the best way to describe it, but it's almost it is a very Japanese style. It's that Japanese samurai style that they use in like Star Wars Visions,
Oh.
or something like that, where it
Yeah.
is everybody
Almost
is super skinny, elongated bodies, almost alien like.
Yeah,
Okay.
everyone looks like very malnourished, and everything.
Yep.
The clothes they're wearing looks like paper, and yeah, well, that'd be cool.
So
Yeah,
that,
oh, yeah.
and I wanted to see Alien or Alien, something in
Oh,
that franchise
yeah.
in the Spider-Verse universe. The
Oh yeah,
The
Yeah.
Or
Spider-Verse
Aliens
animation.
versus Predator. Oh my god, that would be so good.
Yes.
Like from the comics, Dark Horse,
Mhm.
you know.
yes,
Yeah.
that was good.
yeah, but you almost vein them up a little more and shrink them. Like it's not the muscular type; it's that lean, agile where they're just
Sure.
Yes, I
Yeah.
cannot stand. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I cannot stand the way that they made them look like all linebackers in the movie.
yes.
Oh, they look terrible. It's like they are not like that. They're hunters. They're lean.
Yeah,
Right,
they don't
Not supposed
need
to be-
predators are
fast.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, they're not
They don't need
linebackers.
to
I'm
be
sorry.
muscle
Right.
bound.
No,
Like,
I hated that. Hated
Not
it.
everyone can look like Rico. No, I'm just
Champion.
kidding. If only, right?
And then the last thing I want is I want to redo Animal House
Oh.
in the style of Moana,
Okay.
where
okay.
like where they take like they just exaggerate. So all
Mhm.
the female characters, they smooth everything down, and all
Mhm.
the males are all triangled and
buff,
and
round,
not buff, but
not
like
buff, swole,
ridiculous.
Okay.
Yeah, like
very swollen.
yeah, the Rock character is just ridiculous, and I would love to have like the John Belushi be like that type of
Oh, that'd
character,
be good. That'd be good.
as everybody else is kind of just bouncing around.
I love it.
Fun, man.
Good idea. Does
Great
anyone else
ideas,
want to add
everybody.
anything before we get the fuck out of here tonight, guys?
The only other thing is I was going to ask you, did anybody watch the 28 Years Later trailer?
Yes.
I avoid trailers, so I have not seen it, but it was shot on
Oh.
an iPhone, I know. So
I did see it.
I saw a picture which I don't know came from the trailer. I'm hoping it didn't.
okay.
And I'm
I think
hoping
I
that
know
it-
what you're talking about, and I really hope that that's not where they go with that. I was like,
Okay.
why would you
I
show that in the
can't.
trailer?
They
I'm
can't.
like,
I don't think that. Yeah,
I hope it's not that. I hope
I
that
hope
they're
it's a
just-
meme. Yes.
Yes, I hope
Gotta
that
be
they're
a
the
meme.
just
Killian Murphy, like the super emaciated.
now
thing
that
out in the field,
they
Yeah.
is what we're
show
talking
that in
about.
the trailer, but I'm hoping that that is not his character. Please, God, don't do
It
that.
can't be.
Yeah.
It
Don't do
can't
that.
be.
I'm very
Guy's an
excited for
Oscar
this
winner.
though.
Yes,
and I
me
love that
too.
when they push the boundaries, like from a technical standpoint, of they shot this all on iPhone. I think that's
Yep.
amazing. And you can do
However-
that kind of shit nowadays.
They don't have 28 Days Later anywhere to be seen.
What?
The DVD is out of print. It's not streaming anywhere.
Damn.
How stupid of a studio. This has to be Warner Brothers.
That's what I was
Just
gonna
Yeah,
say. Is
it
it
must
Warner
be.
Brothers?
How stupid of a studio if you're having the next in the story and you don't
And it's
have
not
the original
available.
story anywhere to be seen.
That's ridiculous. I'm so glad I own it. Oh my God.
Oh,
of course you do.
she's got it. She's ready.
I mean, I remember reading in Total Film, which is like it's a UK based magazine. I remember reading about it while it was still in production
Mhm.
28 days later and being so excited about it. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait until this comes out. And then I saw it in theaters. I was like, holy shit, this movie is fucking awesome.
Right.
So
Mhm.
And it's the whole band getting back together, right? It's
yes.
Sheridan. Is it Sheridan? No,
Well,
Danny Boyle.
it's
Danny
yes,
Boyle,
Danny
right?
Boyle and Alex Garland.
Oh
Okay.
hell yeah, let's go. I'm here for it 100%.
Yep.
My God.
Me too.
All right. Anybody else have anything else to add before we get the fuck out of here?
I'm looking forward to Craven,
There it is.
and my daughter is looking forward to his abs.
See, I'd be looking forward to if he gained like 50 pounds and let himself go a little bit. Like,
Wait. You mean if Craven was craving?
Oh.
okay. Oh,
Powerful
my-
dad jokes are
I'm
powerful
sorry,
dad
I'm
jokes. No, I'm not.
sorry.
I enjoyed that.
my feeder arc has been unlocked. Fuck.
Oh, listen, Chad, I am so happy now that you are into musicals.
Oh,
Like,
God.
like, have you seen Chicago yet?
I've always liked Chicago. That was a musical I actually always
Singing
liked.
in the Rain.
When I was a little girl, maybe. Like, it's been a long time. A super long time. But trust me, with Chris in
Okay.
my life, and it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere anytime soon, I have a feeling that I have a whole lot of musicals ahead of me. Like, he's even talked about, I think that coming to
Ooh.
Jacksonville sometime in 2025 is a show called Hades Town.
Oh, that's a good one.
And that's one of his favorites, and he wants to get tickets to that and go. And I'm down. Like, I don't know if you heard last week's episode, but we watched
Yep.
a pro shot of a thing called Waitress that I absolutely
Yeah.
loved. It was my favorite musical that like he showed me during that time period. And I honestly went into it like, oh, I'm not exactly excited for this, but I ended up like, I cried. I was invested. I was like, oh, I need to know what's happening with these hoes. Like, I'm invested now. And yeah, it's good. So
My first into it was the pro shot of Into the Woods. Not the
Okay.
James Corden. Do not watch the James Corden one.
Okay.
Like Into the Woods, the original pro shot. I think it's is some of the best you'll see.
Okay. No, I'm very open. I've always been open-minded about this stuff, so I'm definitely down for whatever ride he's going to show me. Like, he showed me his Spotify Wrapped, which was literally like all musical
Aw.
soundtracks and stuff, which I thought was very cute. So yeah, I'm always
Just
open-minded, and
the Glee stuff. Stay away from the Glee stuff.
Yeah, and
Oh,
please,
I
you
think he loves Glee
definitely
too.
you still have to watch Sing Street. I know
Yes.
it's not
Yes,
technically a
yes.
musical, but that is a great movie and it has such good music in it.
Just
And no,
Sing
he's
Street and
interesting.
Once. So those two are
Yeah.
like a package. Is
Okay.
Once and Sing Street.
Okay,
Once is
I'm
a little
definitely
more
down.
heartbreaking. Sing Street is a little more. Hey, this is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Chris, take notes if you're listening, sir.
Freaking better.
Anyway, guys.
Or they can make fun of us and
Aw.
No,
or,
never.
or you can reach out via Twitter and be like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Y'all would get along super well. And I tell, like, if we ever have like a musical themed episode or anything like that, he is definitely the guy to bring on for that as a guest. And
Sounds great.
he knows what the fuck is up and all of that. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely love you to death. Subscribe to us on YouTube, our audio podcasts, our other channel, Scene Invaders on YouTube. And thank you for coming back week to week and just listen to us talk about bullshit, man. Like, we have so much fucking fun doing this. And
Yes.
we welcome all your interactions. I'm going to link everything in the description of both the audio and the video, so you'll have access to our YouTube channel, access to the other Scene Invaders, access to Carly, access to Dan, all of that. So yeah, hit us up, man. And
Oh yeah,
again,
the new
we
guy.
appreciate y'all.
I will post
Don.
I will.
Dean.
Dean. I will pose a trivia question to the three of you. You each
yes.
get one guest next week. What musical was Coach in his senior year of high school?
Oh shit.
Can you narrow it down at all? Because I don't know anything about musicals.
Let me narrow it down, and I'm going to say Coach and I are the same
It's
age.
a musical and a movie.
Okay.
So it is Broadway and a movie.
And
Okay.
Coach and I are the same age, basically. So this would have had to have been around like the 94, 5, 6,
Mhm.
7, like that 4-year period of
Yes.
time. So something
Okay.
that existed before that and probably still persists to this day, I'm going to imagine.
It is not as popular today as it was before,
Okay.
but it did
Well,
have,
it was
have
discovered.
a major musician was in the movie. Is
Okay.
about as far as I'll go.
Okay.
All right. We will
Chris,
research
remember
this.
this too, so,
So
we can
the,
talk
the
about
clocks
it.
are ticking.
Yeah, there it
Will.
is. All right, you guys.
If
Good
you don't
Get
night.
it wrong,
more.
you have to watch Mac and Me.
That's it.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
No, not
Whoa.
again. I didn't have to do it last time, and I've
My
never
last
seen
episode.
it. My goal is to not see it, right? All right, guys. Good night.
Good night.
A
Good
pleasure
night.
as always.
Not everybody.